All right, let's get to this now. Mambo ya VAT. How is that affecting you? The cost of living is also going high. Are you also exempt from VAT in any way? Mr. Isha Dunga, welcome to the set.
Thank you so much.
You're having a really good suit on. Kudos to
you. As a businessman, it is very important
that you look the part.
Yeah, you need to actually have that brand that actually depicts the kind of work that you do.
Right.
So I'm a finance consultant, and I tell people about money.
So you have to look
you have to look like money, you know.
Yeah, and this is Biashara Tuesday, so let's both look like money. I'm hoping I'm as close as you are to looking like money. But now, you are CEO of Ecoverse Consultants.
Sure.
Maybe introduce yourself and what you do over there at Ecovest.
All right. My name is Isha Dunga. I'm the founder and director, as well as the CEO of Ecoverse Consultants Limited. Ecoverse Consultants Limited is a finance and business consulting firm that is basically, helping and assisting businesses in terms of ensuring that they are compliant in terms of their taxes, and also advising them in terms of investments and also compliance issues.
Right.
Yeah, so that is what I do basically. I'm the director there.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll get to see how people can access Ecovest and who we should be. But now, watu kwenza wanataka kujua mambo ya VAT. It's around that time, yeah? And let's maybe begin from the basics. What exactly is VAT for a business, and who are those people who are supposed to be paying VAT?
Now, VAT is value-added tax. There's an abbreviation of that term called value-added tax. And VAT is a particular type of tax that is charged on any services that are being provided as well as goods. So everybody who is doing business in Kenya is supposed to be paying VAT. But then there are certain guidelines that are supposed to be following for you to be able to pay the VAT. The people that are supposed to be paying VAT are businesses or individuals that are having a turnover of more than 5 million Kenya shillings annually.
Okay.
Now, when I talk of turnover, that could sound more of business term. Turnover means if you look at your business from the beginning of the year, whatever you sell from the beginning of the year up to the end of the year, if you can do that mathematics and add everything, then it comes to more than 5 million. Then you are a candidate that is supposed to be paying VAT. Okay. But if you are less than 5 million, then you are not eligible to registering VAT. Although there are certain exemptions. You can't be dealing with certain VATable products that your customers somehow demand that you give them the ETR receipts, which are actually showing that you've charged them the VAT. So such businesses might also opt to go and register for VAT for the purpose of being relevant in the business. So that means you can be able to register for VAT when you are earning a turnover, or you're having a turnover more than 5 million, but at the same time you can register when you're having less, particularly when your customers are in demand of that VAT, so that they can also be able to claim such expenses.
Right.
Yeah.
VATable products.
VATable products.
Right.
Sure.
And when is VAT payable?
Well, VAT, according to the Kenya Revenue Authority's guidelines, you're supposed to be paying your VAT before the 20th of every month. And that one is also the deadline for filing the same. And I need to make the viewers understand one thing, that there is a difference between paying for the VAT and also filing. So some people might go and reach the filing bit, and then they fail to pay. There are those who also go to pay and they fail to file. Right. So you must be able to, number one, file. Filing helps you to know what is my liability, how much am I supposed to be paying. Then number two, once you've filed, you get to know that figure. Then you go to the section that is allowing to make the payment. Right. So that payment and filing are one, and they are mutually inclusive. You're not supposed to leave each other. Number two, all of them have got a deadline over 20th of every month.
The payment and the filing.
And the filing, yes.
What is the penalty for late filing or failing to pay or to register for VAT? Let's say I've been making a turnover of over 5 million and I've never told anyone, I've never told KRA. And will they ever find out? And if they find out, what happens to me?
Definitely they will find out. And I want to say that KRA of today is different from KRA of yesteryear. One, you've asked 3 questions if you didn't know. You've asked what is the penalty for not paying, penalty for not filing, and then the penalty for not registering. So I will address the 3. One, as a candidate for VAT, you must be able to register according to the VAT Act. And if you fail to register, number one, you will be penalized, and the penalties are described under that Act. Number two, you will also be forced now to register, and then the Kenya Revenue Authority will do a calculation on retrogressive basis. They will go backward and estimate how much you have evaded or avoided paying for the period that you are supposed to have registered. And then they give you that estimation. And chances are they will give you an estimation of more than what you actually made. And that one is going to be more punitive. Somebody saying that you made maybe more than $1 million, and then you're supposed to pay 16% because you also don't have records maybe to show the claims of the expenses. So because of that, you make $1 million, you're being told you're supposed to be paying 16% of the same. So that is like about 160,000. You're supposed to pay that figure, and then plus the penalty of having not paid it, which is also going to be calculated on top.
On top of
yes, and that is 2% of every month. Yes,
that's a lot.
So if at all you've not been paying for the last 2 years, look at that. Number two, you asked about the penalty for not filing.
Right.
If you're an individual and you're not filing VAT, or even a corporate, your penalty is 10,000 Kenya shillings every month. So if you don't file, be sure that you are accumulating 10,000 Kenya shillings every
single month until they find you.
Until they find you, or until something pushes you now to go and look for the tax compliance.
And then
now that is when now you'll realize that the system does not forget. By the time you want, now it will be really calculating itself, and you must be able to pay that figure.
Okay.
And nowadays they have refused. They are putting everything on payment plan to mean when you have got a tax obligation or a tax arrears, then everything is being put on a payment plan to mean that you must pay everything. The essence of waiver and forgiving has really been, KRA has been very slow on the same. So it is somehow very, very bad. If you have not registered and you're not filing, you better go and file. If you're an individual, you've not been filing, it is also important you must file, because you are incurring a cost of 10,000 every month.
Right.
Yes. And then lastly, you said about
registration.
The registration. When you've not registered for the VAT, you're supposed to go and register. And because you've not registered somehow, there are certain businesses that will want you to give them the ETR. So you'll be disadvantaged in terms of getting clients.
Okay.
If you want to deal with corporates, and these corporates want you to give them ETR, you've gone probably, you want to supply, let's say this TV station, you want to supply them maybe with equipments like cameras and all that. They will tell you that for you to supply us, you must give us the ETR receipts to prove that you've paid the taxes. By that time, you've not registered. So you see, you'll have to go and register. Alternatively, you will lose that business. And who is in the business to lose?
No one.
No one.
Yeah.
So basically what happens is that you must be able to register. Number two, if you are eligible and you've not registered, KRA will at their own discretion push you to register, and then once you've registered, they will calculate retrogressively how much you've been making and not remitting.
All right. So make sure that if you're a business out there that's not filing, registering, or paying for VAT, and your turnover is over 5 million, which is that you're accumulating a lot of penalties that are coming to you. Now, you mentioned earlier that customers might need some of those VATable products, as we've called them, but you might not have them, which pushes some businesses to register for VAT. So what are there the products or items that are VAT exempt in Kenya, and why is that?
Well, there are several products that are VAT exempt, and I may not be able to list them because if someone who wants to know should actually go to what we call the VAT Act, and there's what we call the 8th schedule. You can be able to now go through all the non-VATable, products, and each and every year, the government adjusts the products that are exempted and the ones that are not, exempted.
Right.
Basically, I want you to understand one thing. Why the key question that you've asked there is why are they not? Now the government, through its wisdom, and have several economic, using some economic strategies, they try to implement or put certain policies that are able to boost or stimulate the economy. Number one, if you'd want to probably make life easier to the people, and you say that we are not going to put VAT on maize products and flour and the related, what will happen? If you go to the supermarket, if they were to charge 100 shillings and plus VAT, you will put 116. But then when they say that they are not VATable, now this product becomes less or cheaper. Or let's say affordable. So when the government says we are going to remove VAT or exempt VAT on certain products, then it means the government is using certain economic strategies in order to stimulate the way the economy is responding
to
or to cushion the Kenyans. You know, so that is one particular reason as to why the government might opt to exempt
some products.
A particular product. Another reason is that let's say the product maybe is being produced locally and the government wants to boost the local industries because of certain maybe economic situations or issues. So the government might opt to reduce the taxes for them in order to motivate such particular industry or sectors or companies
to thrive.
In order to thrive. There are again other more. Sometimes they can be a product that is very critical. I will give you an example. We just came from the pandemic, and from the pandemic there was this product called these things that were being used for. Is it in the things that are used for giving the people who are sick the oxygen? How do you call them? Those things that are generating oxygen for
ventilators.
People. Ventilators. That was the word I was looking for. Thank you so much for that. Ventilators were insufficient in the country, and so the government would want to bring in those kind of products in the country so that at least it can be able to save lives for the purpose of ensuring that people get that product at an affordable rate, and also to be able to make sure that the government save lives. They can remove or exempt them from being charged with the VAT so that it ensures that that product is affordable and accessible within the country.
Now, are businesses able to claim a refund on VAT if that comes to the point, and if that is the case, what leads to a refund on VAT?
Well, yes, it is true businesses can be able to claim refunds on VAT, and you must be able to understand that when claiming the refunds, we must be able to make people understand how does the refund come to be there. Number one, there is what we call input VAT and output VAT. When you are doing the returns, when you go to purchase as a business, you experience, or basically you incur expenses that makes you to get VAT, to pay VAT there. For example, I want to go and purchase this phone, and then as I'm going to purchase this phone, I am going to pay VAT. But this phone, I'm purchasing it for the purpose of reselling it. Now, when I go there, I purchase this phone at 1,000 shillings. I shall have paid VAT of how much? I shall have paid VAT of 160 shillings.
16%.
Yes, 16%.
Okay.
Then I go and sell this phone, let's say at 2,000 shillings. I charge the person, and then 2,000 shillings plus VAT is coming to 2,320. So I've charged VAT how much? 320. Yet, when I was buying this phone, I was charged VAT 160 shillings. So what happens? I take 160 shillings first of all out of my 320, then the remaining is what I submit to the government. Now, at some point of time, you can go and purchase several of these phones, and then you sell less. When you purchase maybe 10 of them, you shall have paid VAT of 1,600. However, in selling, you sell maybe only one. By that time, when you go and return the one that you sold, you are supposed to be paying KRA 320 shillings. So 1,600 less 320. You will realize that you're having at least 1,280 with the KRA that is already paid to KRA, but you have not done it. You've not made it. So in other words, that is now what you are claiming to be refunded should the business stop there. You get it. So in most cases, yes, people get the refunds, but it is not very regular. Reason being, you realize that KRA takes time before they refund this money. They need government approvals. There must be money in the in the accounts or the exchequer and all that. There are a lot of dynamics. Sometimes it even takes 4 years before people get refunds. But yes, refunds are there.
All right. And I want us to get into matters of Ecovest Consultants. With how we are speaking here, of course, I definitely bring my business to you for some of this consultation on matters of finance. What services are you offering? What range of services are you offering over at Ecovest Consultants Limited?
All right. Now, at Ecovest Consultants Limited, basically, I've said before that our work is finance and business consultancy. And in doing that, number one, in finance consultancy, we help businesses in doing what we call accounting services, and also we help in tax consultancy services. When somebody or a company is having problems in starting an accounting department, and they want to make sure that they have a robust account systems and account departments, and have their books being kept well in terms of records, in terms of doing things in the right way, then Ecovest Consultants Limited is the company to go to. Number two, we also help businesses in terms of realigning their tax department, making sure that your taxes are well done. Number two, ensuring that now you pay. Number three, ensuring that you are doing businesses and the transactions that are helping you, number one, to minimize the amount of tax that you pay, and number two, to be compliant in all the transactions that you are undertaking. Then lastly, we are also doing now the business consultancy, which comprises a range of services as well. One of them is advising businesses on matters of investment, advising businesses in matters of setups. A company wants to be registered, and then you want to ensure that now things are done in the right way, especially things like setting up on the operational strategies. You want to ensure that you do the right recruitment, the costs of starting that business until it becomes operational, and also implementations. Right. We also help you go through the compliance services. We know which are really important. Yes, which is sometimes you are setting up maybe a manufacturing farm. Which kind of licenses do you want? Which kind of authorities do you need to register with, and then which kind of permits do you also need to get? Right. We help you to go that. So that one is business setup process. All that one comprises now what we call business advisory services or business consultancy. So Ecovest Consultants Limited definitely is now assisting businesses that are starting and also businesses that are also in the process of operating. But our main business is ensuring that your compliances and finances are straightforward. Right. Yeah.
Compliances and finances.
Yes.
What kind of finances do I need to bring my business to you for consultation?
Definitely, when it comes to you bringing to us the business, we have to understand one thing, that what type of business do you want us to do for you? For example, you'd want to ensure that your taxes are okay. So we do what we call tax health checks. We check your transactions, we check your books, we check where there are weak links and where there are strong links, and we advise on how to be able to make adjustments. Number two, you can also want to start a business and you don't have the information. So we furnish you with the information through business plans. Now, doing business plans is for businesses that are yet to start. Then business strategies or business proposals are now for businesses that are operating. Sometimes you're a business person that is running his business, but then you're facing challenges of losses, you're facing challenges of operational issues, you're facing challenges of management. And our work when we come in as a consulting firm is to ensure that your operations are straight, to ensure that your finances management are okay, to ensure that also when it comes to ensuring that compliance issues and anything that can be able to hinder the business from, doing very well is well taken care of. So it depends with whichever the type of business that you're bringing to us. If you're bringing to us a business on taxes, we will advise you on the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a different offering for different services.
For different services.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe a last one before we wrap it up is who is eligible for paying VAT on imported goods?
Who is eligible? In fact, we should say who is not eligible.
Who is not
because
eligible?
Everybody
is. All right, who is not?
Number one, there are people. They have also been they have got a schedule that have been also put in the VAT Act. And one, they are special envoys people, like when you go to the army, an army officer is allowed to be able to import staffs without definitely paying for
VAT.
Yeah, for the VAT. There are also those companies that are called the EPZ companies. EPZ means we call them the EPZs are these companies that are been zoned by the government in order to process items for the purpose of export only. Their main establishments are supposed to be ensuring that the country is industrialized, and also the country become an exporting a country by ensuring that more jobs are created, and also the country being boosted in terms of their manufacturing. Now EPZ companies are exempted from paying the VAT. So when they import, their products are not supposed to be taxed.
Okay.
They are not supposed to be paying the VAT. So being that they are supposed to be paying the VAT, they are also under that. And then plus several of them. Okay. Otherwise, any other person that is supposed to be paying for any other person is supposed to be paying for the VAT.
Right.
Yes.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I am hoping that we can have you here again. There's so many things that we can get to touch about, and then make sure that people are also checking out Ecovest. People know mambo ya compliance, mambo ya finances, even individual compliance to filing of tax returns, and also taking care of personal finances. I'm hoping that's also one of those things.
Yes. Actually, it is very important people to understand that taxes are very important, and you're supposed to be registered and also making the payment. People are very complacent with regards to tax payments, and they just take it as something that is not a must.
Right.
But with the day you will be in need of your tax compliance, that is when now you'll realize how important it is.
Right.
So I would also wish to tell the viewers that in the next month is going to be the deadline for the return of taxes, both for companies and individuals. Try to avoid last-minute rush. You can talk to Ecovest. We are available online. Just send us your P9. We do for you the returns. That is for the employed individuals.
Right.
For the business people, call us, and then we can have a short meeting or even have a phone brief, and then we'll be able to do for you the returns. For those people that have not done, for the businessmen that have not done their books, we can do for you the books, and then further now do the returns for the purpose of determining the actual amount of tax you're supposed to be paying. Don't just sit there and have incomplete records and have incomprehensive records that you are supposed to be using in filing your tax returns.
Right.
Talk to us, and then we shall be able to do that. But next time, call me so that we can do personal finance.
Yes, personal finance. Yes. Definitely. My producer has heard that and he's saying is okay with that. We're going to do that.
All right.
Maybe finally, I've received here a question.
Yes.
Mtu anasema, how much are you going to charge for personal return of filing of tax returns?
Yes.
Someone gets your P9. How much is
no,
it?
that is quite easy. It is not very good to discuss prices online.
Yeah.
But I can be able to tell you that definitely you'll afford it. It is very
affordable.
Very, very affordable. In fact, if you're even earning 10,000 below, it's very affordable. 10,000 above, it is very affordable. You will be able to do that at a very, very affordable rate, so that you make sure that all the people file their taxes.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And that is Mr. Isha Dunga, very eloquent and very articulate in matters of finance and compliance. Make sure that you're tuning into this show. If you missed any bit of this, we're going to upload it on YouTube, KUTV Kenya, and then we're going to have him again. So if there's a question that maybe we didn't touch on, an area that you may think you need to be cleared up, I'll give them to him, and then when he comes back, we'll answer all of those. So ensure that you're tuning in to #Biashara Tuesday. Do you have a last remark?
Yes. My last remark is that as Kenyans, we are hardworking, and we believe that our hard work needs to be compensated. And for that, if you want to get compensated, then you must be able to do things right. And doing things right include making sure that your VAT and your taxes are in good shape. And for you to do that, you can be able to reach us at Ecoverse Consultants Limited, and our social media platforms are available. Ecoverse Consultants Limited on Facebook, and on YouTube we're also there. You can also be able to subscribe on our YouTube channel, where we teach people a lot of personal finance and the related stuffs. And also make sure that you reach out to us on our number 0722 100 212, also 0720 047 212. I believe that we'll be able to communicate and have a very good time in terms of ensuring that your taxes and finances are in good shape, and that we ensure that you're better off in terms of your life in finances and in business.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's take a break, and then I'll be back with much more. Biashara Tuesday is still on air.